Welcome back, guys. Alex here. And if you're new to this channel, I'm on a journey to create financial freedom through creative real estate investing. So if you're on that same path, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any good content which I share for free. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the problem with for rent by owners. Now, in previous videos, I mentioned that I am a fan of the for rent by owners or landlords or FRBO'S, whatever you want to call them. And they're a great way to get started in the business. Now, this is going to be specific to when it comes to wholesaling lease options, right? So when you're wholesaling lease options, you're making the deal that you negotiate with the seller contingent upon finding the tenant buyer. And whenever you make anything contingent, you're making no risk offers, which is great for you, but you're also not making any commitments, which is not great for the seller, okay? So here's the problem, okay? So whenever you find a landlord, it's because they're advertising their property, whether it's on Craigslist or Zillow. Oh, sorry. I'm about to go through the tunnel, guys, so hopefully you can still see me. It's either on Craigslist or Zillow. And the good thing is you already know that they're open to leasing their property. So it's just a matter if they're open to selling it, right? And a lot of times the seller puts their property on there because maybe they tried selling it and now they're using a backup option as to renting. Well, this is a great option, kind of a hybrid option, which is better than just renting for reasons I've explained in other videos. So a lot of times they're open to it, right? And I've gotten a few contracts just with landlords. I've done a deal from beginning to close, got paid on it. It was with the landlord. And I just got another one this week with a landlord. $4,000 rent payment. She wants $750 for the price. The problem comes where they want to have the option to still rent out their property. Now, I'm usually okay with a seller selling their property on their own, as long as they're not with a realtor, and then I'll go out and find a tenant buyer at the same time. I don't mind that, because the chances of me finding a tenant buyer are greater than them finding a buyer that can qualify with a bank loan. That's a small percentage of the market that can qualify with a bank today versus the 80, call it 70 to 80% that can't qualify, just need a little time to do so. But with a tenant, there are a lot more tenants out there that can come up with first, last, and security that are not going to be responsible for all the maintenance and the repairs and that have no intentions of buying the house. There's a lot more people in that market than those who could come up with generally speaking, 3 to 10% of the purchase price, on average about 5, who are willing to take on all responsibilities to do with the property just as if they owned it, and who have the intentions of eventually purchasing that house. There's a lot fewer buyers in that pool than there are tenants. So the problem is, whenever you negotiate a deal with a landlord and they still want the option to rent out to their tenants, a lot of times they're just gonna rent it out, right? They'll find their tenant before you find your buyer, and you're basically spinning your wheels. And this has happened to me. I'm speaking from experience. Everything that I talk about is because I've done it. And I'm kind of over it. I want to do deals where I have the exclusive right, ideally, right? I'm done with the practice. I want to close deals. And I've had situations where that's happened to me. They've just decided to rent it out because they needed to rent, they needed to fill their property. They needed to fill it, right? So I think landlords are a great source of leads if you're going to come in and close, if you're going to come in and stay in the middle, if you're going to come in and commit to their payment each and every month, and then you go ahead and sublease it to another tenant buyer, aka a sandwich lease option, or you go ahead and buy it with owner financing or subject to, whatever creative method that you're doing, but you're actually committing to making them a monthly payment each and every month. You are. And then you're going to lease it out to a tenant buyer and make the spread in between. That's a great lead source for that, because there's no other, because now you control the property. But when you're wholesaling a lease option, you're not guaranteeing any payments, right? You're controlling, you're giving yourself the option to find someone and then assign them back over to the seller, right? So that's what you're doing. You're giving yourself the option to sublease it to a tenant buyer and then assign them back over to the seller. Then you collect an assignment fee as a result. So you're not committing to any payments, and the seller's main motivation is to get it filled. They want to whether they have a mortgage, they want to have monthly income coming in, and you're not guaranteeing them that. And a lot of times it's going to take you 30 to 60 days to do so. So that's where the problem comes in, right? They're going to have to trust in your ability to get it done within 30 to 60 days, and then taking all their ads off Craigslist, all their ads off Zillow, knowing that, basically putting their entire trust in you that you're going to fill it. So a lot of landlords don't want to do that. They want to still have the option to rent it because that's what they were going to do anyways, right? That's how you found them. They're already advertising their property. So it's a really tough sell. At least it has been for me. I mean, if you guys have experience wholesaling lease options, I know most people probably have experience doing sandwiches, sandwich lease options, probably owner financing and subject to, but a lot of people don't have experience wholesaling lease options. So if you come across this issue, let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback. But again, I just wanted to share that because I just came across another property this week, which I got under contract. I have 60 days to get it done. I'm going to post the deal structure video. If you don't already see it now, it's probably, will be posted soon. And, I'm excited. I'm going to do my best to get it done, but I know the likelihood is that they're going to find a tenant. And here's a good thing. I mean, I'm also an agent. So if I have someone that, just wants to rent, I could go that route, and the rent's $4,000. I get a $4,000 commission out of it, which isn't bad. It's not bad, but not everyone, I'm sure most of you watching this don't have a license, so you don't have that option. Any case, that's all I really wanted to share here. That's the problem with for rent by owners. What I like about FRBO'S and expireds is a lot of times they didn't want to rent their property. So when they're open to a lease purchase, and when you explain it, they're going to put their trust in you to get it done, right? And that's what it comes down to, versus a landlord who's going to also want to have the option to rent it out themselves. So that's all I'm saying. When it comes to wholesaling lease options, you can expect that to happen when you're going on your seller appointments. It's a great way to get started. It's a great way to start working on your buyer systems. Once you get something under contract, go look for an attorney. Now you have credibility because you have a property that you actually have in inventory, and the attorneys will take you more serious. A lot of times they won't get paid until you do the deal, which is how I did it with my attorney, which can be expensive in the beginning. But it's a great way to get started. Just eventually you're going to want to operate non-exclusively, and I've done another video on that, so I'm not going to go into details, but that's all I had for you guys. Let me know what you think. Hopefully this was helpful. And once again, thanks for watching. Look out for the next one.